Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Century Countess. Today's video is the project announcement. One sec. Need ammunition. I want to mail off my rant, but I can't because the front desk is nowhere in sight. But no ranting. We've already ranted a little bit in our makeup video that we just did, where I show you how I do this face. So if you want to see how you can do this face, pop into the video that was just done right after this one. The thumbnail kind of looks something like this. So, as you guys know, I do a lot of costuming, I do a lot of sewing, I cosplay, I do drag, I do character art. You've seen videos, you've probably seen makeup videos of me dressing up into character, performing little short films that I've done over the show. I've done audio stories where I do voices for my characters, with maybe some imagery, but it's mainly audio. So if you guys want to, so when you guys are doing stuff and you don't have time to watch, you can listen, and that's why I started doing audio stories. So you guys are not, can still do your to-dos, but enjoy the humor of my characters. But, if you have the time, always, sit down and watch a video or two whenever I do videos of my characters. Anyway, I digress. So, like I said, I'm a sewer. I make costumes. I do not do commissions. I have stopped doing commissions because lately, people have been like, do this for me, do that for me. Not, do you have, not, like, are you available to do this? Are you available to do that? No, it's just like automatic. We need you to do this. But instead of, or I need you to do this. And it's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's like you assume that I have no life, and like I have all the time in the world. I do not have all the time in the world. I got a life. So it's like, I would appreciate, but that's why I don't do commissions, because it's like, seriously, it's like, I don't like it when somebody just comes up to me like, I got this for you, and they just toss the item to me. Or, I've been scammed, because they've asked me if I could do a tailoring job for some jeans, and I thought it was one pair of jeans, so I said, okay, maybe like $8, $10. They wanted 3 or 4 pairs done. But anyway, that's why I don't do commissions. That's why even if you offer me a great deal of money, I ain't doing it. I'm not. I'm sorry. I appreciate it. I do need the money, but I don't do commissions, because I've been taken for granted for way too long. I don't do commissions. So, anyway, I'm still ranting, aren't I? So, we are about to embark on a very, very fun project. I never thought I'd ever do this before. I've already made a few videos about it. But we are doing a Star Wars themed Halloween costume that might also be our cosplay costume for the 2026 Emerald City Comic Con that's coming up in March of next year. So, that is if we can keep the costume in shape. And that includes the wig. This time we're going to be making a wig. It will be my, here is something that I've already made for it. This is the hair template, because hair donuts are very expensive, so why not grab something from the Dollar Tree? The Dollar Tree that I go to is very slow on stocking up. So I was lucky that I grabbed the last stocking sock that I used to stuff with cotton. I just use regular cotton that you can get from a craft store, any craft store. I got this also, the way I got mine was online, I think. And it was under $5, so I stuffed the Dollar Tree sock and this is what I get. And I put a little pin here so I know where it's centered. I will mark it later when I get to it, but it's going to go for a wig for the Queen Amidala look. So we're going as Queen Amidala from the Phantom Menace because I loved her costumes. And there are some costumes in the Clone War, Attack of the Clones or whatever, and very few in Revenge of the Sith or whatever. I know Star Wars fans are going to get me for saying that. Sorry. But I love the costumes in Phantom Menace, and it makes me wish that Emma Padme remained queen, because I feel like her costumes were like super cool in Phantom Menace. For the second one, they were okay. I only had a few costumes that I liked, but they were more lesser. But there was this one particular costume. It's called the Foreign Residence costume, or the post-Senate costume. It's the outfit that she wears right after she's done talking to the Senate. It's all black, and it has a little bit of bling that pops out, but it had, like, before, my unconscious goth self, when I first saw that film as a kid, immediately fell in love with that outfit. I fell in love with that outfit. Totally. And for years I wondered, how was it made? So I did some research, and I found out exactly how they got inspiration from, like, the loose long pale or no Cheongsan robes from the royal Qin dynasty. I don't know if they were referred to as long pale or Cheongsan, but I know the inspiration of the Cheongsan and long pale was inspired by the Qin dynasty, the last dynasty of China, last royal dynasty of China, I mean, wore in the Forbidden City. They were beautiful, so very loose. So I took reference, since they used reference like that, I assume the way the outfit closes is slightly similar, but there is an opening that exposes a kind of a crinkled, crushed, taffeta-looking substance underneath. So that's how we're going to design the outfit. We already made a pattern. We've already made the partial undergarment. There will be videos of that. We're actually working on them now. And here's the fun part. We're actually trying to use this contraption that I'm filming right now, which is my Chromebook. I'm using a laptop-based Chromebook thing as a camera substitute. It's slightly going well. It's slightly working. It's just the bad part is I can't see if I'm filming it right, so I have to play it back and see how it goes. Excuse me a moment. I gotta check my text message. And we're back, and I forgot where we were on the subject line, so I apologize if I repeat myself. So, yes, Chromebook. We are using Chromebook like a camera. I have to play it back to see if I filmed it okay. So far, there are a few tidbits that pick up, like, for example, my costume trunk that I also use like a coffee table. You do see a mini doll project. I am, like, I am cleaning my dolls, and there was one in the background that was out, and she just got her dust removal bath, and she was just put back on display. And actually she was put away because she was one of the dolls that I take out and put up another doll in her place, just to keep the look different, you know what I mean? Always got to change the look for the mood. So anyway, there are a few things you might see in the background that might be a little out of place, so I apologize for that. But that's what happens when you film on Chromebook. But you do see the full pieces here and there, and it's so much better than this. Because let me tell you, when you're very low on budget with money wise, and you're using a special service phone that's free, you don't have that much memory on it. You have to delete videos and photos occasionally to make space so you can actually do that extra 3 minute in the video you need. So I've been enjoying using Chromebook, and I will be getting a camera in the future so I can film better. So I'm glad that all of you who've been with me for years have stayed with me through the wondrous years of when I used to film my videos on the phone. I still do but not as much now. So appreciate you guys who have been with me since day one, and who have remained with me after day one to day lost count. It's been years, 6-7 years now since I started my channel. I don't know. Anyway, we are 11 minutes in. So yeah, that's the Amadella project. We are going to be trying to do the hair. I'm actually going to be playing with Warbler for the first time and a heat gun. I saw this video where this one girl, she was doing the throne room gown, and those little flaming eggs at the end of her throne room skirt. She sculpted the design with air dried clay, laid some Warbler on top of it, heated it up, cut it out, painted the interior of it so it still had that porcelain glass effect because she used a translucent Warbler. What I'm going to be doing is using just basically a cheap version of Warbler, lay it out. Hopefully it removes itself from the mold casting that I made of the hair pieces, which is what I'm making. I'm making the hair pieces because there's these hair pieces in the post-Senate gown. They're simple, they're gold, but there's this one piece. So basically the hairdo, it's like a geisha kind of. It looks very geisha in the front, and then in the very back there's a tie-in, and then she has like these little braids or these little poof bun ponytail pieces, and they're like a multitude of ponytails that are just brought up into one single ponytail, so it has this cute little poofy thing going on with these, I want to say 3 gold bands or 2 simple gold bands with a few motifs on it, and then this big kind of like tier thing. It looks like an upside down wedding cake in a way, with this little dangling piece in the front. There are reference photos in past videos that I've done for you guys to see. But anyway, the history of this outfit. So this outfit was made with, and I apologize if I misspell it. It was called a fluffy Cyrene silk fabric. I looked up fluffy Cyrene silk fabric, could not find it. I found the Cyrene fabric, but it was nothing near what I needed. And here's the thing, every time when first it was fluffy Cyrene fabric, didn't get anything. Then I looked up regular silk Cyrene fabric, didn't really get much. All I got was images of carpet. Then I just looked up Cyrene fabric by the yard, and I got what you would basically refer to as a gray fabric with a forest green floral motif. Wasn't even close to anything related to the costume, so I improvised. It's kind of like a furry, like a very thin furry thing, so I thought maybe fur trim, and I thought, you know what, that's going to be very nightmarish, like my Edwardian pride gown that I did a while back with the fringe tassel trim, which drove me insane and hurt my tailbone because I was bent down for hours hand sewing. All that wasn't fun. It was not fun, and I had to make sure it all evened out, so when I sewed the 2 pieces together, the colors lined up, because it was different colors of tassel and it needed to line up or it was going to look like crap. So I decided not to do that. So I thought, well, why don't I try a faux fur? I keep calling it fox fur because it's like when you look up faux fur, it has an X on it. So I keep calling it fox when it's actually faux fur. Fake fur, by the way, if anyone doesn't know what faux fur is. So faux fur is basically synthetic fur. It's not real fur, it's synthetic. I found it and then I realized, oh, I've used faux fur in the past, and let me tell you, it's a nightmare to clean up because when you're cutting, it's like cutting hair, so there's going to be these little pieces that cling to the floor, and if they get wet, they will dye the floor, and if they fall on your on your carpet or your rug, it's a bitch to clean up, especially when you don't have a vacuum, or your vacuum does not have good suction and doesn't clean up, doesn't suck anything for crap. That sounded so wrong, I know. Coffee time. So, we've decided to play with velvet. Now, my adventures with velvet in the past. There is the costumey velvet, which is this flimsy, very hard to cooperate fabric that people have used in the past. I don't like that fabric. I've tried following their tips on how to make it submissive. It doesn't work for me, and it kills my machine. And hand sewing is a bitch. There's going to be profanities from now on in this video. I am not going to try to keep this G-rated anymore. So, long sigh. Short pause. Scratch of the head. So, there has been some thrifted velvet that I have used in the past that has been wonderful. It has like this back that feels like taffeta, like the back of taffeta fabric, and taffeta is, depending on what type of taffeta, it had like this nice, it's beautiful because it's not fully 100% silk, and it's like, it's not stretchy, it's just solid. It's almost like like somebody glued velvet on top of taffeta. That's what the back texture is like. I went on an adventure trying to figure out where to find this certain type of velvet, because I can't just order something online unless especially velvet. There are some fabrics that I can, and there's some fabrics that I can't, velvet included, because I need to see what it's like before I buy it in bulk. And sometimes when you're online, you can't buy patch swatches. So I took a piece of an old project that I had, went to some fabric stores, and they kept saying, oh, this is costume. It's like, don't tell me it's costume, just tell me, is it like, because I know there's different types of velvet. I just need to know, instead of telling me it's costume velvet, tell me what type of velvet. Is it polyester velvet? Is it micro velvet? Is it Vinny velvet, or whatever that word is however you pronounce that word. So somebody gave me a different version, which is called home decor fabric. So I'm like, okay, still doesn't give me an answer, but it does give me something to look up. So I looked up home decor fabric, and I caved. I decided to buy a yard of micro velvet. Good news, micro velvet was what I needed. It was the same texture that I found from the velvet in the past from thrift shops. So now we know the type of velvet we can play with. So we might be doing some velvet projects in the future, more velvet projects in the future. And you can see me use that velvet when I make the Amadilla post-Senate patches that are on the outfit. Now, the patches from the Star Wars archive, plus the behind-the-scene costume video, they talked a little bit about it. It was the details were, the little applique patches things came from the antique garment from the early 1900s, and they didn't have enough, so there was somebody that was actually able to replicate pieces that looked identical to the pieces that they didn't have, and somehow managed to fuse it into the fabric to make it look like it was embroidered onto the fabric, which was amazing. So I'm not good at beadwork, I'm not good at embroidery, so I took the easy step out and I used puff glue, metallic puff glue, to give the image of beading, embroidery, you name it, I did it. I don't know, people say they look good, and what I did was I kind of thinned the stitching part, I thinned the gold bits that looked like embroidery to kind of give the illusion it was embroidered, but kind of had like an aged look, so you see little gaps here and there. I wanted that to kind of, give the illusion of embroidery. Not like I'm going to enter a contest, because I'm sure when you enter a contest you can't really tell the judges that. They might see it, may not see the illusion, and think you did a rush job. So, which is why I will never be in contests on Comic-Con, at least not right now, with specific cheat methods like that. So anyway, got the patches done. We actually forgot one patch, which is this back rectangular patch that's in the back. Got that done. We have some excess fabric left. Not enough for any thing for the big garment. We ordered the velvet. We ordered 5 yards. We ordered the inner lining, which is silverish taffeta. Bad news. We had to make a third panel in the main garment because it was not going to be loose enough. However, I fixed it to where it does not widen the armpit any further, because I'm worried the armpit is already super wide already. So fingers crossed. If not, we'll just do a patch method. And plus, the way the robe is made, it doesn't look like there's much movement you can do with the sleeves, because she doesn't really lift her arms or anything. It's mainly designed to basically be at your sides with your hands clasped together up front, because if you raise it, it's not going to look pretty. It will kind of have a cute little drop sleeve effect, but it's not going to look pretty. So we're going to probably do a method where you can lift up your arms. You do have that movement, but mainly for times where you need to reach for something, which won't happen because I will be out and about. Now, hold on. Let's see, 23 minutes in. I think we're going to make this a 30-minute video. We ordered bridal sleeves from Temu, and that's all we need. Pardon me. That's all we need for hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know, I guess I drank that coffee the wrong way. A little teary-eyed. I started hacking myself to death off camera. Anyway, as I was saying, we still need to do we just need to attach the sleeves, put some ties in the back, and then we can finish filming the underpiece of the Amidala costume. We may alter the neck because the neck looks a little interesting. But what we did was we used an Elizabeth salvaged garment pattern piece from Jeanette Arnold's Patterns of Fashion to make Amidala's underpiece. So we're using a historical pattern for the underpiece, but the sleeves are not going to be historical accurate. We're just, the body of it will be. So it's very cone shaped. Looks kind of flat without any hoops. I hope it doesn't need any hoops, but you're not going to see it because the black robe will probably is the showstopper. It's the showstopper. So we are also going to be using our black gown that we made for Pride, that we never got a chance to do for open mic, thanks to the 70s party that they decided to merge with it, which pissed me off. Let's see, 25 minutes in. Okay, 5 more minutes to talk and chat about the project. So, brain fart. Did you ever get one of those brain farts where you're talking about something and just your brain just farts and you forget all about what you're talking about? Anyway, yeah. So we're going to be salvaging that because while I was at Pride, a lot of people stepped on my train, which goes into the next subject. This outfit has a very small train, like my black dress. So we are going to make a secret hook on the gown. So when I'm walking around on Halloween night and at Comic-Con, if I decide to wear this outfit at Comic-Con, there's not going to be anyone stepping on my train because the train will be hooked up. And if people want photos or something, we just unhook the train and just let it lay out beautifully. There is enough of my scrap velvet that I can make a few patches, so if I want to kind of decorate the inner lining, because there's going to be lining that's going to show through when we hang up, so we're going to definitely try to, instead of doing raw edging with the joint pieces, most of the joint pieces will be clean. So when that train is lifted up, it will be clean and nice looking. It won't be like raw edging here, raw edging there. Also, we may, to pay homage to the costume, we may do a hem trim of fox fur around it, but it will be already made fox fur trim in black, of course. Now, the fate of this costume after Halloween, and if I decide to use it for Comic-Con, it's going to become my latest golf attire. It won't be something that I wear out. It will be something kind of like fancy, like a house robe of some sort. So I'll have a very fancy golf house robe that I'll wear over my regular golf attire, something fancy, and then when I take it off, I'm already ready to go. It's kind of like a little dressing gown. So I'm excited. So that's going to be the future of that robe, because literally it's my first velvet costume and I want to try to have some use for it. Also, if I do use it for Comic-Con, I gotta make sure that wig that I make for it stays in shape, because it's got those black dangling bits on it, the gold jeweled pieces, and it has to maintain that geisha shape, because I went on something called Costumer Guide, and there was an article about that costume. Somebody tried that actual costume on, and let me tell you guys, that costume has not, it's been loved and kept, but it hasn't been kept well like the other outfits, because you can tell that the lovely geisha shape has kind of, instead of it being like this, it's more like that now, kind of droopy. The siren fur looks like it's kind of thinned a little bit. The appliques are still bright and beautiful, but they look aged now. They're not as vibrant as they were, which is normal for outfits, because this was a film from 98. So 98, it's 2025 now, so the gold detail of it has aged a bit, so I can understand why. But those other iconic outfits, the Speaking to the Senate, the throne room gown, the fancy kimono, broomstick headdress piece thing, that all those costumes have gained respect, including her iconic black travel gown, which is another beautiful piece. but I don't want to make that piece because that piece is something that has been seen before. I think I saw it last year. Well, this year, this past Comic-Con, I should say. So I want to do the post-Senate/foreign resident because there was only one other person that did it. I tried watching their video. There wasn't much detail. It was just one of those YouTube shorts / TikTok shorts. Wasn't very descriptive. I couldn't figure out the pattern. So I couldn't even figure out the closure idea. How they did the closure. So we're doing this all from scratch. And I give them kudos because they did use full fur for their project. It is now 30 minutes and 26 seconds in, so I'm going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed me ranting a little bit, talking about the update for the costume project that's coming up. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!